How's it going, everybody? Solo Black 313 Rise and Ride coming at you. And we got the Suzuki looking good. Yep, got the new tires on there, worked out well. So we're gonna move on to the next project. And the next project, no, not the Shadow. Yeah, the ST1300. She's looking pretty sad. Haven't ridden her in about 9 months. And actually, I have neglected this bike for 2 years. Oh my goodness. Today we will be working on the Clutch Master cylinder. Now, I'm also going to be doing a video on changing the clutch slave center or rebuilding the clutch slave center. But today we're going to be working on the Clutch Master cylinder. So stick around and I'll be right back. I got to clean off my workbench and then we'll get into it. Okay guys, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the lid to the Brake Master reservoir, and we're going to empty out all of the fluid as much as we can. Put a towel down so we don't damage the paint, because you know this is simply 4-dot brake fluid, and it's very caustic. That's pretty dirty in there, so we'll get ready to pump that out. Wow, look at all the muck. Can you guys see the muck on this that was in that? That's why the cylinders are all jacked up. It needs to be rebuilt. The slave cylinder needs to be, because all this crapping. But you know what? That's my fault. I've had this bike 4 years and I have basically done nothing other than spark plugs, oil, and air filter. I never thought about, well, I've done brake pads, but I never drained the clutch fluid. Now I have added some brake fluid, but that needs to be changed also, but we'll do that in another video. Wow, look at all that muck. Next, we're going to take off the fluid line. That's a 12 millimeter. Crack that seal. Like I said, make sure you guys have some kind of towel to protect it. Couple of crush washers, and also guys, when you're doing these type of repairs, even if you don't have a YouTube channel, sometimes it's a good thing to either take pictures or do a video of how you take this stuff apart. I'm not a licensed mechanic, and whenever I do a repair video, it's for purely entertainment purposes and to fix my bike. So there's nothing wrong with taking pictures or taking a video of the process to get this stuff off. To remove these 2 bolts, you'll need an 8 millimeter. Then once you get the master cylinder off, there is a switch. This is the new switch I put on that was broken. So just disconnect that, these two leads, and it comes off. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean out all this muck, and then we'll start taking this thing apart. Now that's a big improvement. All right, so now let's start taking this thing apart. Okay, we'll need to get the lever off first, and that's a 10 millimeter. So once you get the lever off, the plunger came out on its own and it's stuck in there. Now I might have to replace this plunger because the plunger has gotten oval over the years. I'm going to do a little investigation on this plunger to see if this is acceptable. I don't think it is, but for right now we won't worry about that. The next thing is to get the brand new clutch shifter switch that I just put on. We have to take that off. And it's just one screw that holds this switch in. So this is the brand new switch that I just put. This is the brand new switch that I just put on, and this was the part that had broken that was keeping the switch being depressed in with the clutch handle. All right. So now we'll have to remove this bushing or rubber part, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's torn up. It's all broken up. So this was really time to have this done. Yeah, it was time to replace this. As you can see, it's all broken and torn there. So, yeah, it was that time. Now, there's a snap ring. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. So you got to get that snap ring out to get the other parts out. So let's try that. I don't know if these snap ring pliers will be small enough. All right, guys, this was a hard one. To get the O-ring out of here, I actually stopped filming that day, and I took took it home because I didn't have any a way of getting this O-ring out. So the snap ring tool that I have here just wasn't getting it, and I had a set of picks, these picks, but I didn't have them here at the storage garage, so I had to go home and use a pick to get it out, but I finally got it out. Now, I don't know how many of you people have heard of Old Guy on a Bike. He has a ST1300, and he did this same procedure. He did the master cylinder also, and he had the same problem of removing this pesky little old, I'm sorry, not O-ring, snap ring. So we got that out. You gotta excuse me, I'm sweating. It's like 95 degrees and I'm in a garage and I have no air, no fan. I gotta get a fan. So now let's complete this project. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get the parts, the piston and the spring out of this unit. Find something to push it from the back and it should, in theory, pop out like that. So there's your piston. I mean, there's the plunger. Let's see if we can get the spring out. Okay, and then there's the stop and the cap for it. So now we're going to put the new one together and just reverse the process. So with the new kit, you'll get a new pesky snap ring for the insert, and then you have the spring and the new, I don't know, I just call this a cap, and then you have a new washer that goes over over this part right here, and then the end cap for the spring. So I have some Q-tips and some grease, some light grease for the rubber parts. So I'm going to go ahead and put grease on all these rubber parts, and then we'll reassemble this thing. I'm going to put a little grease on here to make that rubber gasket try to slide over there a little easier. Okay, I got this little pesky O-ring on there, and there you go. Now let's get the new plunger. We've already got that lubed up and ready to go. That goes on the small side. Drop this down in there. Push that in. I'm glad I pre-lubed those. I'm glad I pre-lubed these parts up, making it a whole lot easier. Okay, we got that in there now. Next will be the plunger. Okay, after trial and error, you can see we got the snap ring back along with the washer. And now we'll just put the dust cap down in there. All right, guys, now that the center cap is on and the master cylinder is completely rebuilt with all new parts, I'm not going to put it on the bike just yet because I still have to get and rebuild the slave cylinder. And I'm not going to do that today. So stick around. Solo Black 313, rise and ride. God love you, and I'll see you in part 2.